Hey, what up everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you. What a day it is today. I have the biggest smile on my face. The Seattle Seahawks have lost to the St. Louis Rams, dropping them to 500 on the season, 3-3 on the year. St. Louis really came out swinging today. I woke up this morning. It was just one of those days. The first thing that woke up in my mind was like, shit. Last night I went to bed pretty early. I sat at home watching some Sons of Anarchy, and I didn't mess with any of my fantasy stuff. So right out of the gate, I had to be going over. I had to be looking at my pick'em league. I had to be looking at my 3 fantasy teams, and trying to make sure that I wasn't gonna be that one dude who just just straight up forgot about it. And I get ready, sit down, and watch some football. And pleasantly, to my surprise, the Rams and Seahawks is the game of the morning. For some reason, I always think of when they play in St. Louis, it's gonna be like a West Coast game, so that would be a later start. I thought I was going to have to get stuck watching the Colts and Bengals game, which was on CBS and started earlier this morning. But this one turned out to be a really good one. And I really liked the first half of this game. Seattle really jumped up on top of them. Going into the half, it was 21-6. You had an early field goal by St. Louis, and then you had 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 special teams. I don't know how you call it. Basically, it was the fake punt return, where basically everybody ran to one side of the field while the guy who actually had the ball sort of stood around and then started sprinting his way down. It was really cool to watch, really fun to see. This Seattle really sort of they were rushing the ball. It was one of those days when Marshawn Lynch was running the ball up the middle, but he really wasn't getting anywhere. But they kept going with it because of how good this guy is as a running back, and they just kept going back to it. And it was fun to see this team struggle. I remember the announcer saying right before they went into halftime that basically this wasn't the fault of Percy Harvin if you were turning in late. It just and I'm like, what are you talking about? This Seattle offense is nothing like we've seen all year long. It's not that Russell Wilson wasn't scared to throw the ball. Baldwin had a few receptions in the first part of this game, and he ended up at the end of the game, coming back and having over 100 yards receiving on 7 catches with a touchdown. But they just didn't look like they were doing. And the joke that I had before going into halftime was, I bet you Seattle would love to have Percy Harvin in that locker room night now, slapping people around, making sure they come out of this and playing a different game in the second half. And even though Percy Harvin wasn't there to be punching people in the eyes, basically Seattle came out and they were the team that they've been done. They've been in the past. They were the Seattle Seahawks that we know. It's just they couldn't make up for that early slouch of not being able to score points in the first half. St. Louis needs to find out some way to beat the same team in the second half as they are in the first. I know the San Francisco 49ers went through this a few times in the past when they were during their rebuilding years. They would come out and play a really good team, real well in the first half. Going to halftime, I don't know if the guys were in the back taking naps or what the hell they were doing, but it was not good. MVP of this day, more than likely, is going to be the Rams punter, Johnny Hecker. It's fun to see this guy do it against the Seattle Seahawks. I think everybody can remember the game when this guy threw 2 fake punts against the San Francisco 49ers. Little do you see a fake punt in one season, and the 49ers had 2 of them done in one game, and I will hate this guy for the rest of my life, but he did put a smile on my face. Going for the fake punt, and that was sort of is what secured the 28-26 victory. I think a lot of people will be looking at the fumble that Mason had in the fourth quarter, basically saying that it looked like Richard Sherman was on the ball, and it should have been Seattle's ball, and they should have had one more chance to try and win this game. But it is what it is. When you're the good team, you normally get those breaks, but they didn't get it today. 28-26 final. The Rams beat the Seahawks. I haven't even got a text back from my boy Troy. I'm sure that he's going bananas out there. Seattle ended up, with a pretty good offensive stats. Russell Wilson, you look at his line, he's got 23 completions, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marshawn Lynch, only 53 yards on the day, but there you go. I told you the Rams were here, and the Rams were for real. They played us real tough last week. They played against the Super Bowl champions, even tougher this week. So 28-26, they pulled the victory. The San Francisco 49ers got a tough one tonight going up against the Denver Broncos. I'm a little scared about that. The Seahawks getting a loss, making them go to 3-3, makes me a little bit more okay about this. Everybody's always worried about the Niners and the Seahawks. Nobody's thinking about those Cardinals. We'll have to see what they're going to be in the second half. Peace out, everybody.